Hello, everybody. I'm George from Ireland. Well, thank you for coming back to my channel. I just got the news minutes ago that Mark Tully has been called to his reward. Now, I mean, people under the age of 30 probably wouldn't have heard of him, but he was in the 1980s, in the 1990s, the BBC's main correspondent in India. So Sir Mark Tully, as he was, has been called to the great big studio in the sky at the age of 90. And he was a white Briton born in India, fluent in Hindi and so on, a child of the British Raj, born there, and was it 1935 when the Britannic Empire still existed. So he was 12 at the time of Indian independence. So and he knew the country backwards, respected by almost all parties in India. Well, that's him, and his voice was recognizable by many people, held in high regard in India, and had to report on all sorts of situations on wars, the assassination of Mrs. Gandhi in 1984, that Bhopal disaster when that was a Union Carbide factory leaked this deadly poison, killing so many people and blinding many more. When the Indian Army stormed the Hari Mandir, he reported on that. The Ayodhya temple dispute, when some of the hardline Hindus wanted to demolish the mosque that was Aurangzeb had built on the site of a former Indian temple to re-erect the temple and so on. But, there were some of those people thought that he was unfair to them, chanting death to Tully and things like that. So, yeah, he was well known by everybody in Indian politics in those days. Born in Calcutta, as it then was, now Kolkata, in West Bengal. I don't think he actually spoke to Bengali. So his mother had also been born there. So yeah, his family was there since the late 19th century. What was I going to say? So they tried to make sure that he had a British accent and not speaking it with an Indian accent at the same time. So yeah, he was there during the Second World War. What was I going to say? And then afterwards, he returned to the UK boarding school and studying at Cambridge University. And he was thinking about becoming an Anglican priest. I think he didn't do national service. Remember, most boys then in the United Kingdom had to join the army, the Royal Air Force, the Royal Navy, do 2 years. I'm not sure how he managed to avoid that. But there was the BBC back out to India. I remember who was saying who was the real fidget. And Bindran Singh Bandarwale, the leader of the Sikh separatists, the ones who guy got killed in the Golden Temple. He was sitting on the floor, Mark Tully was. This guy was giving whatever press conference, and Tully was moving so much, accidentally his foot bumped the other guy's foot. And feet are considered really filthy in India. Don't touch anything with your foot. Yeah, if someone on the train in the aisle, someone's sitting, don't move your foot over him or her, his or her foot. Whether you just wait for the person to move out of the way. But anyway, he could have been in big trouble because Bindran Wale was really ferocious. You didn't want to get the right side of him, so the wrong side of him. But anyway, Mark Tully lived to tell the tale. Goodness. So that was it. So he remained a figure in Indian media long after his return to every state in India and most of its nearby countries. He was kicked out briefly in 1975. That's when Indira Gandhi declared the state of emergency. He wasn't allowed back to a year and a half later when it ended. So for 20 years, he was head of the BBC office in Delhi, going all over the country. He had to cover the military dictatorship in Pakistan. He had to trouble the conflict in Sri Lanka in the 1980s. He had to cover Afghanistan and stuff like that. So that was it. I mean, and he retired years ago. So he's not very well known by younger people. And he was granted the two highest decorations for a civilian in India. And it's almost unique considering he wasn't an Indian citizenship but chose not to. The Padma Shri and the Padma Bhushan. Okay, so yeah, knighted in 2002. He wrote numerous books. He never wed, but he had a long-term girlfriend. I'm not sure he ever had sitters. He had children, so he became an overseas citizen of India. So that's why he had some rights to live there, but not to vote and so on. India doesn't do dual nationality. He said he felt as at home in India as he did in the British Isles, because of course that was his birthplace, and that's when he spent the majority of his life. So a magnificent voice has fallen silent, known for his impartial, insightful reporting, his sunny disposition. He vivified the airwaves, and he was very informative, equally analytical. Yeah, he had no airs and graces, pleasant, approachable. Say about him, well, we sorely missed Sir Mark Tully.